Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's me, Scott from One Last Hand, and we are about to play some more Deep Regrets. There's quite a lot of Deep Regrets on the channel. Go and check out. There's two videos, one playing the normal game, one playing the game with the Lamentable Tentacles expansion. Thought to finish the trilogy off, we'd have a couple of rounds of the Deep Regrets solo player. I'm not sure it's going to be for me. Essentially what you're doing in the solo game is categorizing fish. You're going to be going to sea, you're going to be fishing, you're going to be catching fish and noting them down on this notepad, and the objective of the game is to catch every fish in the sea. There's a few cards that are removed at the start of the game, but you can see here there's middling fish, there's large fish at different depths, and there's small fish. Essentially you're going to run through a week, but what you're not going to be doing is going to port. You're going to be waiting until the end of the week, so the Friday, and then you will sell your fish. There's a slight problem with that, is every regret that we collect during the week, we are going to have to subtract that from the value of the fish we categorize and throw some back. So the goal is to collect all of the fish. I'm going to do two weeks. I think we'll get through that fairly quickly, especially when we've only got 3 dice to begin with. But what you will be able to do with your money is then upgrade equipment. They carry over from game to game. So if you brought extra dice, you'll be able to roll extra dice next time. I don't know how exciting it's going to be. It feels a little bit like work to me, if I'm honest. Not that I categorize fish for work, but writing these things down and where you're just trying to catch them. It's nice that there's a solo mode included. I don't think it's the be all and end all of the game. I'm going to move this out of the way so you can't see my terrible handwriting, and I guess we'll just dive in. We start with our ship over here. We start with our 3 dice. We start with the tracker on a Monday. We've got our regrets. These items are just here, but we're not going to look at them until we sell. The only thing you do get is dinks. They don't carry over from game to game, nor do money. So if you have to spend all of your money at the beginning, obviously the tough bit is after you've done week 1, you're going to reset the whole board, and then you're going to go fishing again. So it could be that the fish you've already caught, let's say from depth 1, if you stay at depth 1, you're going to keep turning over the same fish, and they're going to be worthless to you. As far as I can tell, I don't think you take them back and collect the money for them. It's only the first time you return. So ultimately, it's going to be a little bit frustrating, as well as a bit like work, I think, when you keep turning over. You're only looking for 1 or 2 fish towards the end of the game. I think this is going to be one of those where, for some people, they'll absolutely love it. For others, it's probably not going to hit the mark. But let's start. We're on a Monday. We always start at depth 1. One thing that's interesting is if we move down to depth 2, spending a die, we will be able to stay here for the whole week. You don't go back to port, and you don't perform the increaser level at the end of each day. So once you're at depth 2, you'll stay at depth 2. Once you're at depth 3, you'll stay at depth 3. I don't know if you can move up. I don't know if there's an opposite to drop sinkers, raise sinkers, I guess. I'm going to assume that there is. There's also, from what I can see, there's a few rules that are going to be a little bit weird. You ignore a lot of the stuff on the cards. You can't eat fish because you're trying to categorize them and collect them. So you're going to end up with some things that don't make a huge amount of sense, like give this to the player with the most regrets. I mean, it's solo, so I'm assuming you give it to yourself, but I don't know. So we'll kind of house rule some of those things. I can't guarantee that we've got all of those things right. Right, let's start. Let's roll our dice. We've got 2 3s and a 2. There's no life preserve in this, so there's no extra 2 or -2 points. And let's dive in. So we've got a 3. Let's go for this medium fish here and see what we get. What happens is you turn over the fish. It's a barracuda, and you can see, let's just zoom in a little bit. Barracuda is middling and fair. It's going to cost 3 pips of a dice to catch, and it's worth 4. There is a little eat icon here. We're not eating fish, so that's not going to help us. So we're going to write down on our sheet, this is a middling and fair. So we'll write that over here at depth 1. I'll show you this in a second. In fact, I'll show it to you right now. So from this point of view, we have caught the barracuda. It's middling and fair, so we're in the middling section. We'd write fair in here, and then, you can't see that, we write fair in here, and then we'd write barracuda, and then we write that it's 4 value and 3 to catch, but we do not tick this little box here. We will only tick this if we get it back to if we get it back to port and we catch it, which happens on Friday. So I'm going to tuck these here just to show that we've caught this one. We're going to spend the die that we need to spend, so that goes over there into our spent pool, and we're good to go. I'll just move this over a little bit so you can see the spent pool. We're good to go again. So should we try this big fish? So one thing I should just point out, we've got this card here. We do have worms, so we can use worms. I'll tuck those up there so you can see them. But this is showing us the value, how difficult fish are to catch. So going after a large fish, it's going to cost us potentially 2 to 4. We've got 5, so we should be able to do this. But let's say we turn over a fish that costs us 4. With our 2 dice here, a 2 and a 3, you don't get any of the leftover. So this we'd have to get rid of both of these dice to catch it. So we're possibly better off catching small fish, but I'm going to go for that large one. The other thing just to talk about, you might be able to see these. This is a small silhouette. This is a large silhouette. That one there is a medium. So it just gives you an idea of what's going to be under here. Right, let's turn over this medium fish, and we got a manta ray. So this large fish is large and fair. It's going to cost 3 to catch. Whoops. So we'll spend that 3. And this is a large, and it's fair, and it's a manta ray. So it's going to be worth 4 at the end of the week, and it costs 3 to catch. Manta ray goes into our pile. Now we've got 2, so the small fish of 0 to 2. So I can tuck this up here so everyone can see it. Small fish are worth 0 to 2 at depth 1, so we're going to turn this over, and we have a cutthroat trout. It's small and fair, and again, there's on reveal, if we'd have turned this over, all players discard a regret. Obviously we didn't have any to discard, so they're the only things that we're looking out for. The other one was eat, this one is eat, so we don't need to worry about that. So this is a small fair cutthroat trout, and it's worth 1 and 1. Okay, that can go over here, and that spends our 2 dice to catch it. We're out of dice, so we now move this on to day 2, and we carry on. We roll our dice again. We've got a 3, 2, and a 1. There's a large fish over here. Let's go for it immediately and have a little look. It's a hammerhead shark. It's worth 3 to catch, and we are definitely going to try and catch it. So fair. Hammerhead shark. It's 5 value, and it's 3 to catch. We'll get rid of our 3 over here, and there you go. You can see we're continuing to fill in. Barracuda on the middling. We've got our hammerhead shark over here. As I say, I'm not going to be able to read my writing, so you guys are definitely not going to be able to read my writing. But there we go. Right, let's turn this back over. So we've got a 3 left on our thing. So I think we can go for one of these medium fish. Let's do that. Oh no, we got a pram. All players get a regret. So I'm not going to look at these until we have to when we go back to port. So this is small and fair. It's going to cost us a 1 to catch. I mean, I'm going to catch it anyway because we need to, but that is not good news. It's a pram. I do love some of the, the artwork is fantastic, but it just said never used. Surely. So 0 and 1 over here. Okay, so it's going to be worth absolutely nothing, and what's going to happen is we're going to turn this card over when we get to Friday. You should look at these now, but it's just a bit more interesting. So we'll turn this over on Friday, at the end of Friday, and we'll have to discard as many value as this is worth and any more that we pick up. So what's next? We spent a 1 to do that, and we spent a 3 to catch the hammerhead, so we've just got 2 left. So let's take another one of these small ones. Oh, come on. When you catch it, you get to take a regret. No, you get to take a regret and peek at 1 fish. So I guess we're going to catch this as well. I think it's still probably the right thing to do. So foul, because we're going to spend our 2 die anyway. It's a eye fish, and it's worth 0 and 1. And because we caught it, we took this. This goes over here. We spend our die, but we get to peek at 1 fish. So let's have a look at this one. This is a day octopus. It's worth 2, and it's worth 3, and it's going to cost 2 to catch. So we know a day octopus is there. I'll have forgotten that by the time we get round to. So let's do it quickly. Let's roll the die. A 2 and 2 1s. Not ideal. Obviously, once you've got equipment, this is going to go a little bit better. But we're going to spend our 2 to turn over the day octopus. The day octopus must be caught with exactly 1 die, so we can do that. We've got a 2 over here, which we're spending. And we'll write it down. So this is a middling and fair. So fair. And it's a day octopus. And it's worth 3 and 2. Okay, so we'll tuck this over here. Now we're back to having just 1, so we'll go after the small fish. This one here is a foot. Great. All players on reveal get a regret. Good. I don't feel like this is going particularly well. We're going to catch it anyway, so we don't have to... So interesting, if you turn over a card with a 0 value or with no value, you don't have to spend a die. So this is foul, and it's a foot. And it's worth 0 and 0. We're going to take it with us, but we don't have to spend a die on that. So let's turn over the next small fish, which is, oh god, an osteofish. Small and foul. On catching, we're going to take a regret. You know what? Fine. See if I care. So this is a foul, and it's an osteofish. Again, with a 0 on, doesn't cost us anything. We've still got 2. Let's go for this small fish. This one is a filefish, finally, so we can spend 1 to catch this. It's fair, and it's a file fish, and it's worth 1 and 1. Okay, so that goes there. We've still only got 1 to fish with. I'm going to spend it. We'll turn this one over. It's a tiger shark. Discard 1 small fish on a catch. That's not great. But it's worth 3. We can't catch that. So this is going to stay here. And I think it's at the end of the week that you discard fish. Let's just check in case it's different. Kit out, catch, perform catch, catalogue each time you successfully catch a fish, record it. Do not check the box to the left until you bring it back. Perform the fishing action exactly described in page 10. So I think once you've got it, it stays there and you refresh at the end of this. I'm not 100% sure. Just reading this very quickly. The one that got away. If you reveal a fish but fail to catch it, don't record it in the details of the sheet. You'll need to return another day to attempt to catch it again. You can use the notes section on the back of the sheet to remind yourself of the fish, keep an eye out for, and warn yourself of others. So it doesn't say... Perform the fishing action as described on page 10. Each time you successfully catch a fish, record its details. Do not check the box. So what's interesting is in the main game, on page 11, you pay, catch the fish difficulty in the upper right corner of the card. To catch fish, you must spend dice equal to. Dice put back in the bag, you cannot spend half a die, so additional points. If you cannot afford the fish's difficulty or choose not to pay, you must spend 1 die of any value to draw the top card of the dink. So you only discard, I think, at the end of the... Oh no, it's at the end of each day, not at the end of each week. There's only 1 day. So we're going to have to get rid of this in a second. So we're going to spend our 1 and we're going to take this dink card. And this dink card is a clump of seaweed. No effect, but hang it in there. You'll be okay. Great. Just what we wanted. So we don't write it down. We don't catch it. This gets discarded. I'm going to tuck it out of the way over here. That's another day done. So we move up to Thursday. Let's roll the die. 3 and 2 1s. Again, not fantastic, but we do have a large fish here. Let's hope for something. All players take a regret. I don't think we're going to have any fish value here. It's going to cost 4 to catch, so let's do it. It's worth 4. So this is a large. So foul, large, and it's Haley's Folly. It's worth 4 and 4. We've spent our 3 and our 1, so we'll tuck this over here. And then we get a small fish. This is a lionfish. Finally, it's worth 1. We can catch it. That's great news. So fair and small. a lion fish, and it's worth 1 and 1. I just need to find out what the file fish, that was also 1 and 1 because I didn't write it down. We'll tuck this here. That's all. That was a pretty quick one. That was all of our stuff gone. We're on to Friday, so we're going to roll the dice again. 2 1s and a 3. So we'll tuck those there. We've got another large fish. Let's do it. It's a Goliath grouper. So we're going to go to the large fish. We're going to write fair down. And this is a Goliath grouper. It's worth 4 and 2. We needed something like that. So we'll get rid of our 2 1s. Do we get rid of our 2 1s? Yeah, we get rid of our 2 1s. We've got a 3 left. So we know medium fish will be 3. So let's turn this over and hope. We have a whiptail stingray, middling and fair, and it costs 3 to catch. So we're going to use every last bit of our die, which is great. Fair, whip, tail, sting, ray. 4 and 3. Okay, so that goes over here. We spend our last die, end of the day, end of the week. So what happens at the end of the week? We'll just bring up the instructions, but I think it's pretty simple. We count our regrets. We've got quite a lot of them. We have 1, 3, 5, 7, exactly 7. Okay, so 7, we then jettison fish. You got tired, you got sloppy, your hold got overwhelmed. There are casualties. You must discard any combination of fish that equals 7. Well, that's bad news. I guess we get rid of a barracuda. We got one that's worth 3 and a day octopus. Fine. Everything else we're going to tick off. So let's go through these one at a time. I won't show you this bit, but let's just throw these back in the sea. We'll move these out of the way. So we've used our 7. I don't think we've done particularly well. So a whiptail stingray, we can tick off. I'll just show you the first one. We're going to tick off on the sheet here the whiptail stingray, and that money is going to get added to our pot. So we've then got the Goliath grouper, so we can do that one. We've got the lionfish, and that's on this side, over here. We've got Haley's Folly, so that's back on this side, over here. We've got the filefish, that's there. We've got the osteofish. We've got a foot. We've got an eye fish. We've got a pram. We've got a lot of fish that are worth 0. We've got a hammerhead shark. Thank God for the hammerhead shark. We got a cutthroat trout, and we got a manta ray. So the ones we didn't get were the barracuda and the octopus. Right, let's add these up so we can get rid of the 0 ones because we know they're not worth anything. It's a lot of them. We have 4, 5, 10, 11, 15, 20, 24 monies to spend after our first week fishing. 24. I said I'm just going to write that in the notes section just to make sure I don't forget it. And then let's just bring this up here so you can see what we've got going on. If I bring this up here, what you can see, if I can zoom in, you might not be able to see these particularly well, but all of these are the values of things you're going to be picking up. So if we wanted the blue die, we can get 1. You can only ever have 1 of each of the die colours for 20 bucks. If you want, what did I say? I had 24. If you want a particular reel, you can do that. I think I'm just going to go for the blue die. So it's 20 bucks, and we're going to take the bag, and we are going to take a blue die. Now this isn't great because 2 of these sides are worth 0, but it has got a 1 and a 2 on it. We're going to add that to our list. Right, we've got 4 bucks to spend. There isn't anything that's worth 4. There's a black tea which is worth 5, but we don't have any discounts. If we picked up a dink that had a discount, we'd be able to take that off at this shopping stage. Now, what's going to happen after this is we're going to take all of our fish that we caught, and we're going to shuffle them back in to these top decks, and we go fishing again. Obviously, if we catch fish that we've already caught, they're not really worth anything to us. So we're going to keep an eye on that because we can't get paid for them again, and then we'll figure out where we end up. We've got one upgrade, which is an extra die. If we get a 0, we can use it to move down to another level. So I'll reset. We'll rewrap everything up, and then we'll do week 2 as well. Okay, so we are back. We're ready to go for week number 2. We've got our extra die. Obviously, between games, if you were playing with more time between these sessions, you could put everything back, play it multiplayer, and then you can use your sheet to look at what you've caught and what upgrades you've got and take those upgrades so you know exactly where you are and where you left off. We'll do one more round, so let's roll our dice. We got a 0, a 1 and 2 3, so it could be a good opportunity for us to go lower because then we're not going to be catching the same fish that we've just been caught. So I think what we're going to do is spend our 0 to move down a level. Now, in the medium depth, there's a few things that changes. Fish come at a 1-to-1 ratio, so we're much more likely to get regrets, as well as from where we were before. Equally, the fish cost a little bit more to catch. If we want a large fish, it's going to cost us 5 potentially. But let's dive into it. Let's use our can of worms straight away to have a look at this fish. This is a great white. It's going to cost 4 to catch. All players discard a small fish. We only have to do that if we can. So we'll spend 4 and we will catch a great white shark. Hold on, this is depth 2 and it's large and fair. So let's flip over our sheet and off we go again. Middling, oh no, large. So fair and great white shark. It's worth 6 and 4, so we'll tuck you over here. Now I can't see anything in the game that says, well I can here, it says, where does it say it? Stay down. Spending dice to move lower depths lasts the entire game. So I'm guessing you can't spend dice to go back up. So that might be bad news for us. We've got a 3 left. What do we know about a 3? Small fish could be 1 to 3. So let's take this one. It is the Amulet of Agatha. This is an interesting one for us because it doesn't say not to use this in the game. When you catch it, it's going to cost you 3 regret. Display face up in front of you. Take the Omen die and treat it as one of your player dice. So that's going to give us an extra die to roll, and this one has 4 on it. So we're going to catch this for sure. We take 3 regret, 1, 2 and 3. But we're going to put this in front of us, so we'll tuck this just here. I guess we write this down? I don't know. Do we write it down? Because I don't know if you take it back. I don't think it's there. Let's just check it doesn't say to remove it. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. You remove the... No, you don't remove the amulet. So I guess we write it down because we've caught it. Where are we writing it? It's small and foul, so at depth... Oh no, I wrote the great white shark at depth 1. Oh, I'm just going to put a 2 next to it. That's bad news. Okay, the foul. And this is the Amulet of Agatha. And it's worth 3 to catch and nothing of value. Okay. Right, but now we've got the extra die, so that's great news. So we'll take that and we'll put that in our pool. I think when you roll it, you get to put it here. It's worth 1. We're not going to catch anything with that, so we'll bring all these back. We'll end the day and we'll roll these dice. So we got a 3 with the amulet. We got 2s all round on these 2, and then 2 1s. Sorry, you can't see that. Let's just show you. So we've got a 3, 2 2s, 2 1s. We'll stay here. We'll go for the big fish, I guess. Don't be bad. Don't be... Oh, it's bad. Give this to the player with the most regret. If tied, discard. That's us. I'm pretty sure that's us. So this is a foul. Grief Lurker. And it's worth 3. and 0 to catch, so we don't have to spend a dice on that one. That's great news. Okay, next, go medium fish, because that's all we've got. We've got the mollusk. Reveal all fish in this column. We'll do that in a second. This is going to cost 3 to catch. So let's spend our amulet. And this is a middling and foul deep depth 2. So foul. And it's the mollusk. So we have 4 and 3. So we've spent our 3 to catch it. Oh no, that was the green. No, we spent our 3 to catch it. And we reveal all fish in this column. I don't know if that includes the one in the middle here. I guess so. So let's do it. We've got a human. All players get a grief. Okay, good. Oh, I looked at that one. I didn't mean to. We've got this one, which is a giant octopus. And we've got this one, which is a swordfish. Now the bad news. Oh, yeah, I was saying I don't think you can go back up. It doesn't matter. You can fish at higher levels when you're lower down. The bad news is that's the. Oh, we've still got dice actually, so it's not the bad news. We can catch the giant octopus. It's going to cost us 4. Oh, but then the swordfish is going to cost us 4 as well. Got no way of doing both of those. So let's do the 2 here, and we'll catch the giant octopus. So the giant octopus is middling and level 2. So fair. Giant octopus is 6 and 4. Okay, so we can tuck that here. Oh, that goes there. Okay, we've got 2 left. We're at level 2. We know that a medium fish could be too much. So I'm going to go for this medium fish, I think. It is a black sea bass, so we don't want to catch that because we've already caught it. So we'd tuck that back on here, and we would take a dink for one of our die. We got the locket, reduce the shop cost by 1. We can use that at the end of the week. Let's turn over this one as well, shall we? This one is a sheep's head. We've already got that as well, so we'll spend our last one to get another dink. This one is a pearl. Reduce the shop cost by 2. So we're going to have a 3 discount at the end of that. But that's us done. So we'll discard all of these cards. We will move up to a Wednesday and roll these dice. We got a 3, a 1, 2 2s, and a 0. Okay, I'm just going to check that none of these have had any reveal things on that I didn't see. Oh, hold on. I think we... Oh, no, we did use 2 die to catch the octopus. I didn't read it. Yeah, we had to use 2 dice to catch it, but I'm pretty sure we did. I might be remembering wrong, but I think I used 2 2s to catch it. Right. We're here. We're going to go for this big boy, right? The colossal squid. Catch automatically. Display face up in front of you. You can only catch fish from this column. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tuck this here to try and remind myself. I think it was this row. I might be wrong, but I think it was this row. So colossal squid is large and fair. So fair. Colossal squid. Okay, so we have to display this one in front of us as well. And we're going to display it face up, and we can only fish, I'm going to say in this column, I'm not 100% sure that's where I got it from, but it doesn't cost us anything to catch. So I'm just going to tuck this on top here. So we don't have to spend a die to do it. Let's go for this one then, if we're saying we've got to do it in this row. Kurachan spawn. It's got a flip coin thing that we don't need to worry about. So we can catch this with a 1 and a 3. So we don't have to worry about it being a painful one. So this is foul, and it's a Kurachan spawn. But yeah, we don't have to take a regret for it because you ignore all flip coin abilities. This one is worth 5 and 4. So we can tuck that over here. Now we've got 4 left. So shall we go for a medium fish at this level? We shall. It's a halibut. So medium at fair. It's a halibut. 3 and 2, and we have to spend a 2 to catch it. So now we've got a 2 and a 0 to catch. Let's go small, shall we? Okay, what have we got? We have a rot fish. On catch, gain a regret and flip your can of worms, which is quite useful actually because we don't have any. So this is small and middle level here. So foul, rot fish, and it's worth 3 and 2. We're going to spend our 2 and put this here. Now we take a regret and we flip our can of worms back over. Now we've got a dice of 0, so I'm going to turn this card over because we have to have a dice to be able to catch it. Now we cannot catch it. We could catch it for 2 today, but we haven't got it. But we've got our 0 to spend. We're going to put this back on here. Hopefully I've been fishing in this column. I think I have. And then we're going to turn this over. And here, reduce a fish difficulty by 1 or reduce a shock by 1. So interestingly, we could have then caught this if we'd had this card earlier, but we don't. So we're now on to a Thursday. This gets discarded. We've still got a fish in this column. I'm going to tuck this here in the hope that that reminds me. Let's roll our dice. A 3, a 2, a 4, a 1, and a 2. Do I want to go down a level? I'm going to say no for now. We're going to catch this large one. This is an orca. It's worth 0 to money, but display face up in front of you. You cannot be... Oh, hold on. I got this from this column, right? After putting this here to remind myself I got it from this column. Let's do this one. A bluefin tuna. So this is large and fair. It's going to cost 3 to catch. So let's put the 3 over there. This is large and fair. Bluefin tuna. 5 and 3. Okay. On catch, lose a regret. So now I can look at these. Nice. They're all nagging apart from one which is trivial, and I can put this over here because we can remove a regret when we catch it. So all good. Okay, next. So we can only go in this column. Let's go with this one. It is a Dunkleostus. On catch, get a regret and discard the top fish of all shoals. Okay, we can do that. This is large. It's going to cost 5 to catch. So get rid of that and that one. So this is foul. It's a dunk something. Leo Steus. It's worth 6 and 5. And we take a regret and we discard the top fish of all shoals. I won't look at them. We'll just turn them over and tuck them over here. So interestingly, if we get to the bottom of this one, if there's no more cards left, we take a regret. So we just need to be a bit careful of that. Can I also just say, this might be some of my favourite art in the game. Look at that. That is so cool. I love that. Right. Okay. That was a level 2 one. So this goes over here. We've got a 2 and a 2, so we can go after this medium one, which is a bubo. Oh, why? All players gain a regret. Good. So it's 3 to catch. So we're going to spend our 2 over here, or our 4 over here, and it's foul, and it's a bubo, and it's 3 and 3, but we got another regret for it. Okay. That's the end of another day. We're on to Friday, so we get to roll our dice again. Okay, we got a 2, a 3, a 1, and a 1, and a 0. I'm going to spend the 0. We're going to go down a level. And we're going to go for this large one. Who knows? It's a Kelpie. All players at sea get a regret. Okay. I mean, this does say ignore all player ones, but I don't know if that is... I mean, it says here, ignore all effects that only trigger other players, not all effects that trigger us. So we take a regret. This is going to cost 6 to catch. Can I afford it? Yes, just. There we go. So this is a level 3. It's a Kelpie. It's foul. It's a Kelpie. And it's an 8 and 6. That's huge. Okay, you can go here. We might have to get rid of you depending on what this says though. We've only got one left, so we can't really catch anything. I'm just going to fish up here. What have we got? Oh, come on, a scrat. If you don't catch the scrat, give it to the player to your right. I mean, I'm not going to catch it, but I'm also not going to give it to the player to my right. I don't think. It doesn't seem like it makes sense. We'll put that over here. We'll put the 1 over here, and we'll take this. It's a finger. Reduce a fish difficulty by 1. We don't get to carry these over, unfortunately, but that is the end of another day, another week. So let's add up our fish and see what we've got. First things first, we look at how many regrets we've got. We've got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 2 zeros. So that's not horrendous. So 6. We need to get rid of 6 from this. This is worth nothing, so we'll tuck that out of the way. Although I guess we bring it back to port and we mark it off. Something worth 6 is the giant octopus. Should we just get rid of that? And then it deals with that problem. So that's a level 2. This goes here. Okay, so we have got 0. Is there any other zeros in here? No. So we have got 8, 11, 14, 20, 25, 28, 31, 36, 39, 43, 49. 49 points to spend. These can all go back in their respective piles, so we'll just do that very quickly because I think they're all 2s. Oh no, hold on, we need to mark these off on the board. So let's do that now. We have a great white shark. So probably the easy way to do this is tick everything but the ones we've got. We've got a mollusk, which is middling and foul. We have a grief lurker. I appreciate you can't see these, so I'll just bring these up. Hold on. We have the grief lurker, which is large and foul. We have the Kukuruchan spawn, which is large and foul. We have the halibut, which is middling and fair. We have the rockfish, which is small and foul. We've got the amulet of Agatha, which we can tick off. We've got the bluefin tuna, which is large and fair. We've got the donkey doodah, which is large and foul. We've got the bobo, which is medium and foul. We've got the colossal squid, which is large and fair. And we have the kelpie, which is large and level 3. Okay, that's everything. We can put all of these back in our discard piles. We have 49 to spend, so let's have a little look at what we could buy. But we also have -1, -2, -1. So ultimately we've got 40, what did I say we had? 49, so we've actually got 53 in total. So I'm just going to write that down because we have to spend these. So 53, I said. Okay. So 53 to spend. We could get the green tackle dice, which is worth 40. But let's have a quick look at some of the rods and stuff from Reel so you can see those. So the best we can get is the Reel of the Deep. That's the most expensive for the money we can get, which is once per day. If you're at sea, you may place your boat at depth 1. So you're going to ignore having to spend a die to get down there, which is quite nice. The 50 is the narwhal rod, which is all fish cost 1 less to catch. I mean, that seems like an absolute must, right? The other thing we could do is get a green tackle die, but let's take the narwhal rod. It's going to do the same thing as it did before, right? This is worth 50. It's going to leave us with 4, which means we can't buy anything else. But we could tuck that under our player deck or board. We can put these out of the way. And then what we would do is if we're done, we'd pack up everything. If we wanted to, we could start again, reset everything and go. let's just summarize how I feel about it. It's not. I think that the first thing is it's not really my type of game. I've enjoyed it a little bit more than I thought I would. I think it's one of those. It's for a certain group of people, and it's not what I'm not one of them. But I can see how people would enjoy this. I suspect getting towards the end of the game, it's a bit like collecting any kind of collection where you need one or two last things, and you end up sitting here for multiple hours just trying to catch those fish. And going to sea, turning these over, not getting it, coming back, turning these over, not getting it, resetting the whole board, turning these over and not getting it. Could be decades before you actually catch it, but you're going to be stronger each time. It's one of those. I think there's a few things that you just kind of house rule to make it a little bit more interesting. Like for me, for example, this would probably break it entirely, but when you turn over a fish that you've already caught and you're not going to catch it, why can't you eat it? Because that's going to give you a plus or a negative or whatever the case may be. But some of these fish will allow you to reset, die, and those sorts of things. Let's just see if we've got an eat one here that isn't foul. Eat, you get to increment your dice and discard 2. So it'll probably make it way too easy, but it's going to just add a little bit of, oh, here's a fish I've already had before, I'll get a dink, to I can do something a bit more interesting with that. All in all, it's fine. I played the multiplayer version with friends for the first time the other day. It was quite enjoyable. It's very close, really easy to teach and get to the table. I don't know. I said in my review on BGG, I don't know about longevity. I don't know if there's a clamour for those guys to play it again. It'd be interesting. I think there's a lack of rods and reels is probably my takeaway from that. The solo game is what it is. It's nice to be included. I'm not sure it's going to make it to my table very often. You guys are going to have to let me know if you want to see us continue this. There's lots of other games to play, but if you want to see it, I'll show you it. That sounds dodgy. If you want to see me play the solo, that sounds just as bad. I will carry on the solo game if you want to see it. You're just going to have to leave lots of comments to let me know, and likes and all of those things. Anyway, solo, Deep Regrets. It's fun. Not as much. It's more fun than I thought it was going to be, considering, as I said at the beginning of this, feels a bit like work. But any game where you make progression by getting equipment and upgrading things and then coming back and doing it again, that whole roguelike thing, it's always a bit enjoyable, right? But there you go. We probably won't bring it back to the table unless you guys specifically want us to. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe button, follow us on X and Insta and TikTok and all of those things. They really help. Check out the Patreon page when it's up if you want to support the channel. If they ever allow me to put it up, they deleted everything for it, thinking I was an imposter. So if that comes up, I'll let you know in the comments. But there you go. Deep Regrets. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.